write Cameroon literature. You see, I want to be relevant, because the question is relevance. Am I going to be relevant? If I'm going to be articulate the problems of my people, I'm going to look at them from my own country. You see, because I discovered very early on that I could do was become a writer. You know, and not only a writer, but a writer was going to be condemned repeatedly. You see, and I'm not going to abdicate that role. So I couldn't have stayed in Nigeria and write like Cameroon literature. You see, it's true, when I was in Nigeria, I started off as writing love poems, but I don't write love poems now. And I stopped writing love poems when I got to Cameroon. Because the experience in Cameroon is very unique and very different. That we're moving forward, and we're moving, in circles, And I say, as a writer, going back to what a poet has said, that a writer must know his country the way a lover knows the body of his mistress. You know when you write, if you don't know the history of Cameroon, its geography, its economics, its politics, etc. Because you see, when I write, I'm interested in power. My main theme is power. How is power won? How is he kept? If you win power in a fraudulent manner, you're going to rule fraudulently. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what we're doing in the long run. And I go back to what Marx has said. Marx is not an African. Yeah. Marx is not. It doesn't even know. He didn't write about Africa in many ways. Although he made some allusions to Africa. When Marx made a very important statement, his 11 theses on Louis Feuerbach, he says this: that the philosopher of success in interpreting the world, the point is to change it. You see, and you cannot be in a world by explaining things over and over. You see, it's how you can. You don't say, as I said, growing up in Ibadan University, I grew up with a little poster on my wall. It says, when Senghor spoke, we said how well he spoke. But when NATO spoke, we said, let us march. You see, you can't change your society to a better place if you are explaining things. You see, it is how you can change and bring about a better for humanity. And like I said earlier on, my tribe is humanity. It's a human race. That's what I'm saying. And that human race must be built from a Cameroonian structure. You see, a Cameroonian foundation. So although African literature as it is, has to do with what? The question of consciousness. That's the meaning of African literature. African literature. You can't write human literature in Africa. And that's what I think you have to do. You have to make it very clear that there's what you call the alternative writing in Africa now. And that has to do with the African experience in literature. Yeah. You see, what you are presenting is the early response, not the African response.
So why are you so aggressive in your writing? Why are you so rebellious sometimes?
No, you see, the point is not to do with rebellion. The point has to do with why I'm reflecting the conscience of the majority. That's the point.
Is the majority in Africa so rebellious?
The majority in Africa needs a voice. You see, the elites have warped values. You see, where we are now, people are playing golf. How many people are here? You see, that's not the it's a bourgeois, the Western bourgeois method of apprehending reality. I'm interested in looking at reality from the bottom, not from the top. It's because when you look at reality from the top, you are going to see a false picture. And that's what I'm doing in my works. That I begin to show how the Cameroonian people respond to reality. So where we are, I teach in the university. I have students who are in the university. When I went to the university, I'm doing my own time. Who were well fed. Not that there was much. But people could share. But you see, with the impact of the negative nature of colonialism, the elites are grabbing everything for themselves. You see, and they're not prepared to share. We are a very rich country. That's a paradox. But we are very... Just so you see what's going to happen in Cameroon. And when I say politics, people go to the village too. What are you going to explain to the village? They know what you're doing.
So, are we saying that Bate Bisong is a prophet of doom?
I'm not a prophet. I will not be there. I'll stop writing about the prophet of doom.
How positive can you be?
Humanity itself regenerates. In fact, humanity builds. The most common thing in life is change.
Many say Bate Bisong is not positive.
No! That's the failure to do my work. So, even the banquet, I try to help those who are in power. That they will help you. You don't have to help like Mobutu or like what I think is having now in Guinea, these other cops in Guinea. That's not the way to end of life.
Is everything in Cameroon so negative?
It is not. We have billion people in Cameroon, intelligent people, but we don't have what we have is leadership. We have very mediocre leadership. If I have to score leadership, I'll score them 2 on 100.
If Bate Bisong were to be called up to lead, would he accept?
No, I told you before somewhere. I said I wanted Mr. Abia to appoint me Prime Minister in charge of elections. I want to be in charge of elections. I said my proposal that we won't be where we are today. And I said the first thing I will do is I will make sure that I get all the governors in prison. I will flog all the DOs. They will not come near any electoral booth. I made that point. So many years ago. And I want a change worker.
You make yourself very rich.
No, I don't make myself rich.
But I will become a millionaire.
Look. The system is built on falsehood. You see, the most dangerous thing for you to do as a writer is to preach falsehood. I can give an example of a writer, some of the best writers we have had. They start writing. But it can be very dangerous. There are 2 kinds of writers in Cameroon. 2 kinds. Those who are the government writers. Of course, there's no vision. It's what makes a writer is that a writer maxim is that you can speak to the people of the next generation.
Yes.
And that's why people live in fear.
But Bisong, you
Yes.
have change worker.
Yes.
You've had before Beast of No Nation.
Yes.
Today you have Disgrace.
I won the highest prize in African. I mean, the prize in literature when I published wrote for Last Case.
So what is wrong with your society? The society you live in?
What wrong with my society is deeply ingrained. My society is built on a neo-colonial structure. You cannot build a neo-colonial state within a modern state. That's why I have all these problems. But and all people want to resist, they resist. It's people are going to a point of beyond even depression. People are not waiting for anything to happen. Let nobody fool you. Your society is dynamic. Nobody should fool you. People have given up. They have not given up. They are only watching because, first of all, let's look at the whole that came up in there.
What do you have against the West?
No. Look, the West would never, nobody will ever, a slave master will not give you help, assistance.
But you are dressed in a beautiful Western.
No! Don't forget that, you see, because when I make me West or African.
And beautiful glasses.
No, let us come. You see, let us come. We cannot ignore. We cannot ignore. I don't want to go to the point of Sango, of saying, talk about cultural mulatto, which is vague. You see, the point is that we are living within a modern world. And let me give you that. I'm telling you that we are living within a modern world. And then you cannot use neo-colonial structures to build. And let me tell you one thing. What about wearing a suit? December. I had no office. Remember, I was showing the of well. You see? And then I was being monitored. I knew that if I got into campus, I was being watched all over. If I took a piece of chalk, they told me why I took a piece of chalk. And one thing that made me very certain in my life is when Mr. Abba Machoy was sent to the University of Boya. And I got there and testified to him. I gave him reasons why he should succeed. But he misrepresented me. And for that, I was persecuted. You see? And this for me turned me terribly. But I didn't give up hope. Because I was able to place all this in the light of what I was doing. That there's no way I can redeem the Cameroonian elite. You see, because what I see there, even in that university campus, what was going on there was in fact the playing out of the history of Cameroon. That you could say that's why was very regressive. Now, hopefully in the university, we are moving towards a new dawn. In terms of going back to the university's true mission, that is a place for research and teaching. The whole idea of a politicized campus is getting off after 14 December. We're going to see how the taking shape. That whether you are a political force, you know, we're going back to where scholars have been given the right place in terms of research. That research, even if there's no money, but you know that the something is coming up for those who are scholars. Because the only home for a teacher is a university.
Some of your critics say that Bate Bisong could have made a very good war general.
No, but it's a war of vibration. You see, what Mugabe is doing. What Mugabe has gone through is what I'm also. I went through what Mugabe has gone through. The other day I didn't have my wife like what Mugabe's wife was. I didn't have my wife raped. That's the difference. But Mugabe has gone through what I went through. But Mugabe is in a sense different. Because Mugabe is society, Kenya, it's like all those things. You know, there's so many kinds of imprisonment.
Yes.
There's so many kinds of imprisonment. I had an MA distinction from Ibadan University. Do you know where I was sent to teach? No. I was sent to teach in Amada Youth Village, where I worked for the government. When I got all my students died, I wrote poems in their honor, to their memory, and I was persecuted. When I was taken over teaching abroad, I was humiliated, I was blacklisted, I was blackmailed. Even when Bisong was produced, for more than 20 years in Cameroon public service, my children went through a lot of pain. But you see, my daughter called me one morning and said to me, Daddy, if you ever sell, I will denounce you. What will prevent the pain?
So let's come back to Bate Bisong.
Yes.
You talk about your son, your daughter.
Yes.
Now, does Bate Bisong have a family life?
No, what I think you should do, you should ask her when my wife comes here. Because I don't want people to know even. I mean, she can talk for herself.
Okay, let's come back again.
Yes.
Life.
Yes.
Now, apart from writing, apart from going to school, what else did you do in your life?
You know, I thought you were a musician. Yeah, I'm a musician. I started as a musician. You know, I played in a I had a group called the Small Faces, but that was quite very young. And when I stopped playing music, I went into writing.
And then you were a fan of James Brown.
Oh, James, I'm a James Brown man. Yes, I like popcorn.
Can you still sing James Brown?
I won't do that now. It's not the guitar, but I stopped using the guitar because it brings me back sad memories.
Say it loud.
I'm black and proud. Yes.
That was revolutionary. Is that what inspired you?
Brown, you see, Brown is like a hero renaissance in literature. Brown contributed to the black experience in literature. The way he said, I'm black and proud, for the first time people said, oh, so black people were also good. And Brown changed the entire revolutionary thing. And he tied in what they were doing in the Harlem Renaissance. When people like Nelson Hughes said, if white people like what we're doing, okay. If you know what we're doing, we'll go ahead. And then when I came to, that's why I did literature. People want to go to remember that I'm a writer. You see, a writer is a man who is, that's what Schroeder says. The writer ignores, I don't know reality. And what I'm saying is not pretty.
So very quickly, Bate Bisong,
Yeah.
what do you consider your worst moment in your life yet?
The worst moment in my life, well,
One.
I said
No,
one.
one. The worst.
I want to say worst because I'm a writer, I'm a man of hope.
The moment you thought that everything is lost, let me throw in the towel, that's it.
You see, when I left Nigeria, don't forget that when I left Nigeria, I had only lost my Facebook. At the age of 24, I was publishing my Facebook.